Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into mastering Austin's bulk waste management system. You know, the city's completely transformed how it handles large-scale trash. They've shifted away from those old-school, twice-a-year neighborhood sweeps to a highly modernized, digitally tracked, on-demand scheduling model. It's an incredibly efficient system designed to help the city reach its goal of zero waste by 2040. But it definitely comes with a very specific rulebook. If you want to get rid of your large items without getting hit by surprise fees or citations, you really have to know exactly how to play the game. Tired of that unsightly pile of junk cluttering your space? Stick around, because we're about to make it disappear. So here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll cover Austin bulk trash basics, the step-by-step scheduling process, effective preparation, disposal alternatives, troubleshooting, and finally, a quick recap. Let's get into it. Section 1. Austin bulk trash basics. First things first, we absolutely have to talk about eligibility. Basically, who actually gets to use the service? Well, Austin Resource Recovery, or ARR, provides municipal curbside bulk pickup to single-family homes, duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes. But, and this is a big but, if you live in a multifamily property with 5 or more units, which includes most apartment complexes, large condominiums, and student housing, you are entirely excluded from this curbside service. Those larger properties are actually legally required to contract with private waste haulers. Now, if your address is eligible, here is the golden number I want you to remember: 3. Every single eligible household receives exactly 3 free, on-demand, curbside bulk collections per calendar year. And I really need to stress this point: these do not roll over. If you don't use your 3 slots by the end of December, poof, they reset on January 1st. You can't just bank them for massive cleanout next year, so you really have to use them strategically. So what can you actually throw away? Well, there's a pretty strict contrast here between what is accepted and what's forbidden. The city happily takes household furniture, mattresses, doors, and clean lumber. They'll even grab up to 8 passenger car tires as long as you take the metal rims off first. But, and listen closely, they will absolutely not touch construction or remodeling debris. No drywall, no bricks, no roofing shingles, nothing like that. They also completely ban hazardous materials and any appliances like fridges or AC units that still have Freon in them or still have their doors attached. Trying to hide those excluded items in a bulk pile? Yeah, that's a one-way ticket to getting your pickup rejected. Moving right along to Section 2, the step-by-step scheduling process. Since the city shifted to an on-demand model, which, by the way, saves fuel and reduces truck routes, you actually have to have a confirmed appointment now. You can't just drag a sofa to the curb and cross your fingers anymore. But don't worry, scheduling is super straightforward. The absolute fastest way is just downloading the Austin Recycles app on your smartphone. You can also hop online and book through the My Schedule portal at austintexas.gov, or if you're someone who prefers talking to a real human, just dial 311. Oh, and when you book, they'll ask you to inventory your waste items. That's not just annoying red tape. Actually cataloging your waste lets ARR dispatch the exact right type of truck, like a flatbed for scrap metal instead of a standard rear loader, which massively boosts material recovery rates. Here's a super important pro tip for anyone living in an eligible townhome or condo. There's a slightly quirky technical detail in the city's system you really need to know about. When you're using that online portal to schedule, you have to search for your address without your specific unit suffix. So if you live at 123 Main Street, Unit B, just type in 123 Main Street. Adding the Unit B usually causes the system to glitch out, and it won't recognize your active utility account. All right, Section 3, effective preparation tips. Getting it scheduled is really only half the battle. If you don't set your stuff out the right way, the trucks are literally just going to drive right past your house. Keep this critical timestamp in your head: 5:30 a.m. Every single one of your bulk items needs to be on the curb by 5:30 in the morning on your scheduled appointment day. And importantly, the city explicitly asks you to set things out that morning, rather than leaving them out for days in advance. That just helps keep the neighborhoods looking clean and keeps wildlife and illegal dumpers away. When you do set things out, it requires a very specific setup. You've got to separate your waste into 3 distinct piles. Pile 1 is for metal and rigid plastics. Pile 2 is for non-metal stuff, like wooden furniture. And Pile 3 is specifically for those rimless tires. You also need to maintain at least a 5-foot clearance from your normal trash carts, mailboxes, fences, and parked cars. And remember what we said earlier? Appliances must have their doors totally removed for safety. And items like old lawnmowers, make sure they are completely drained of all oil and gas. These aren't just suggestions, by the way. These strict volume and sorting rules come straight down from the city's administrative codes. The reason is that completely different trucks arrive at different times throughout the day to pick up those specific material categories. If you just mix your metal scrap right in with your wooden furniture, the crew literally can't process it efficiently, and they'll probably just leave the whole mess behind with a notice of noncompliance. Okay, huge warning right here, because this trips up so many well-meaning people. Absolutely no bags or boxes are allowed in your bulk trash pile. Curbside bulk collection is designed exclusively for oversized, loose items. If you try to pack smaller, loose debris into cardboard boxes or black trash bags, the collection crews will automatically classify that as extra trash. They'll either refuse to pick it up, or they'll take it and just tack on surprise extra trash fees directly to your next utility bill. You definitely want to avoid that. Which brings us to Section 4, Disposal Alternatives and Resources. Look, we know life doesn't always fit neatly into a city ordinance. So what happens if you have excluded items, or you've already burned through your 3 free pickups? You basically have 2 main avenues. If you've got the time and access to a truck, you can utilize the city's Recycle and Reuse Drop-Off Center. It's totally free for Travis County residents, but you do have to make an appointment and haul the stuff yourself. It is absolutely perfect for household hazardous waste and old electronics, though. On the flip side, if you just want sheer convenience, or you have items the city flat out refuses to touch, private junk removal haulers like Drop Curve or Load Up are fantastic resources. They offer flat rate pricing starting around $79. You don't have to sort a single thing, and they'll often come haul items right out of your house on a same-day basis. Now, what if you're tackling a massive remodeling project? You're going to be dealing with construction debris, which, as we know, the Austin bulk pickup completely bans. Your best solutions here are renting a roll-off dumpster from a local company like Dumpster Dudes that gives you days to load up heavy materials like tile and drywall at your own pace. Alternatively, you could drive the debris yourself out to the Travis or Williamson County landfills. Just keep in mind they charge weight-based tipping fees, which typically run anywhere from $100 to $200 for a standard pickup truckload. All right, Section 5, Troubleshooting Common Issues. Even the most efficient municipal systems have occasional hiccups. Say it's 4 p.m. on your scheduled day, and your book piles are still just sitting there on the curb. First, take a breath and double-check that you sorted everything into those 3 piles correctly and left that 5-foot clearance. If your setup is picture perfect, you absolutely must contact Austin Resource Recovery via email or by calling 311 within 2 business days. That timeline is crucial. If you wait a week to report a missed pickup, they won't dispatch a recovery truck, and you're just out of luck. On the flip side, what if you schedule a pickup, but then you end up selling that old couch on Facebook Marketplace instead? You must always cancel your appointment in advance using the app or the portal. If the truck drives all the way to your house and there's nothing on the curb, the city actually counts that as a completed trip. Yep, you'll permanently lose one of your 3 precious yearly slots simply because you ghosted the disposal crew. So always remember to cancel. Finally, Section 6, Recap and Final Disclaimer. Let's lock in those core takeaways really quickly. ARR only services single-family homes up to 4plexes. You get exactly 3 on-demand slots every calendar year. You have to schedule them digitally or by phone in advance. You absolutely must sort your materials into 3 distinct piles at the curb, and every single thing has to be ready and waiting by 5:30 a.m. on the morning of your appointment. And say it with me, no bags, no boxes, no construction debris. So, now that you've got the definitive playbook for Austin bulk trash, it's time to actually take action. Are you finally ditching that broken dresser? Maybe clearing out the garage? How will you reclaim your space this weekend? Let us know down below. And before we go, here is our quick disclaimer. This explainer is intended for informational purposes only. Please verify all information with the City of Austin or Austin Resource Recovery for the most current policies and practices. All right, with all of that knowledge in your back pocket, go conquer that clutter, and we'll see you in the next explainer.